Hello, friends. I am back from vacation and here to stamp live with you on Creative Juice by Lonnie today. So grateful to be here and grateful to have a chance to do a little bit of stamping with you before celebration ends. Pardon me for I have to needed to mute my other mic so we wouldn't have two different sounds here. So if you are new to Stampin' Up, welcome. If you are an old hat crafter, we're glad to have you here. Say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, glad to have you here. It's going to be more fun when you comment. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say. All right, let's see. We are going to just remind you that celebration ends on February 28th. So it is coming up quickly. All right, let's see. We are going to add our stamping in here today. Are you ready for Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow? I'm excited for it. I am done. I got my Valentine prepared. Have you mailed your Valentines? Ready to go? Or delivering them tomorrow? Remember when we used to doorbell ditch our Valentines? They don't do that much anymore, do they? I don't think. Or do you still do that where you're at? I loved that as a little kid. And I would get ready for, it must have been a portent of, is that the right word? That must have been a sign of things to come because I loved making Valentines. So today we're going to show you a little fun, easy way to do some coloring with this beautiful stamp set called In the Country that you can earn with a $50 purchase before the end of celebration, which ends on February 28th. And sometimes these types of scenes are overlooked because there's no sentiment with it, but that makes it even more versatile because you can add whatever sentiment you need. And this scene, you're going to find that you can go for this scene for so many different types of things, whether it is maybe a sympathy card or a thank you card or thinking of you card, congratulations. This really will make any kind of card. And I've paired it with another, pardon me, celebration stamp set called Sending Support, but you could use any words that you have, any sentiment, any greeting. All right, I need to move over here so I can make sure I can see what you're saying too, if you have anything to say. Sending Support, this is one of those stamp sets where you're going to find that you'll need some of the sentiments at different times that you'll be so grateful to have in your arsenal. So let's get right to stamping. I am going to start with a piece of 2.5 inch by 4 inch piece of cardstock, just basic white. I love stamping on basic white. We're going to turn it this way and we're going to stamp in Early Espresso. You could do this in black, but I prefer this darker brown than over black in this case. I'm going to stamp it right here, somewhere close to the center. Doesn't matter if you have a little bit on one side or another. Look at that. It's already beautiful. You could just stamp it and go, right? But now we're going to use our blending brushes. We actually have two. Did you notice that there are new small blending brushes in the catalog? So these little tiny brushes are wonderful for getting more detail in smaller spaces. And then you have the larger one. That's about you can kind of see that. And I don't know if you saw or noticed that we have a new storage space right here that actually will fit on top of the other storage pieces that Stampin' Up! Has. It fits both these large, the regular ones, and the small ones. So you can clean up your desk, put this right on top of the storage that holds your ink pads. I believe it's supposed to fit right on top of that. So you've got your ink pads, markers, and now your blending brushes. Isn't that cool? So if you're interested in these blending brushes, I just want to make sure you know that you can order them in sets of 3. And, oh dear, I think I can't find my banner. Well, okay, apparently my other banner is gone. That I was going to share it with you. But yes, you can just look for blending brushes, and there you go. You'll be ready to go. Let's do a little blending on top of here. I'm using Pool Party for my sky. And I like to just rub a little bit off onto my paper so that I don't end up with a big blob of color. And then kind of start at the edges and work your way onto your scene. And this makes it so fast and easy. Maybe a little bit more over here. And they can blend with the other colors as well. So I've got pool party for my sky. Get that all blended on there. I'm using pear pizzazz for my green. So if you're not a colorer, some people don't like to color. Do you like to color? Are you more of a coloring person, or would you rather have it be really quick and easy? Now I'm just doing a little bit of green. And you can actually take it and just kind of, if you want to have a darker spot, don't rub it off and just kind of dab it onto your scene like that and then rub it. So we've got the green coming on here all the way to the edge. I'm going to go all the way to the edge on this one. You could leave a little bit of white or your neutral background on there, but I'm going to go all the way to the edge. Now I'm going to go right down the center of the road because it has some grass growing between the ruts of the road. And finally, move my other colors aside because, you know, when they're open, it's a temptation or could be a problem to stick your blending brush into the wrong color. So now we'll just add a little bit of our crumb cake for the road, whatever color. Maybe if in Southern Utah, I should be doing like Cajun craze, but we're going to use that for another one in a second here because we have the red sand, the red rocks. But there we go. So there is our scene. Beautiful, decorated, stamped, ready to go. What I am going to do with this today is put them onto our craft note cards. Now, this is pre-cut, pre-scored, ready to go for you. They come with coordinating envelopes. The size of these cards are 5.5. Let me think about that really quick. Yes, 5 inches by 3.5 inches folded. When they're folded shut, you've got a matching envelope. So let's stamp our envelope. I'm going to stamp this in espresso. You could do either side. I'm just going to do this right here on the bottom of your envelope because no naked envelopes, right? You've got the scene. There we go, ready to go. And we'll just glue this right to the front. You can see I'm using up cardstock that I printed on one side and didn't work. So there you go. There's my beautiful card. We need a little sentiment, or you can just send it as is. It's perfect as is, but we're going to add a sentiment or two. This one says, some days are harder than others. And you could stamp it right onto the scene or underneath it. I'm going to stamp it underneath it. This is, sometimes you want to kind of just stamp it onto, see, that's good, onto a piece of paper to see if it's stamping straight or if you need to kind of tilt it. So I notice I need to tilt it a little bit. Beautiful. Some days are harder than others. And then the other side, the inside, we'll say this sentiment, and you can put it anywhere. I think I'm going to put it right in the center. Hope today is one of the easier ones. There you go. So I'm going to show you some other samples that I've done already, so you don't have to watch me color again. Same scene, but with a sunrise or sunset, either one. Just changing the colors that you blend behind there. How's that? Isn't that pretty? Let's see. There's your sunset. Which one do you like? And this one I actually stamped onto the scene, and then it says, courage is being really scared and doing it anyway. You've got this. So there's that one. Now let's do one other one very quickly because you can see they are very quick. This is the one I promised would be in Cajun Craze. This one just reminded me of, I don't know. Well, I've got two of them. I only need one. Of some like maybe Tuscan, this other scene reminded me of a kind of a Tuscan village. I don't know if you've ever been to Italy, but this one, it just brought it to mind. Put this one in my cleanup pile. All right, I'm going to stamp this one in Cajun Craze. Oh, there we go. Pretty scene like this. And then I don't have a Cajun Craze small blending brush, so I'll use my big blending brush. Get a little bit of it off there, and we're just going to color this whole scene. This time I might actually leave a little bit of white around the edges. Let's see how I feel as we're coloring it. Add that color, maybe a little bit darker on the stairs. Oh, look at that. Oh, love it. So you can kind of see, you're going to add a little bit of, or leave a little bit of white around the edges. Now I want to do another sky. So bringing back in my pool party. I think pool party looks pretty with Cajun Craze. So hello, Renee. Hello, Bev. Good to see you. And then the fun thing about these note cards actually is that it comes with a box. So you can make a whole set of these note cards and give them in the box. And I'll show you how to put that together in just a moment. Okay, I'm trying to get my corner. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Pretty well covered. This time I'm going to bring in a couple of blender pens. Is that right? Stampin' Blends. That's the word I'm looking for. And you can color these little plants that they've got set out here on their porch. If you'd like to color the plant, the leaves, add a little bit of green. And I'm really just kind of dotting on some green. Let's see, did we lose that? There we are, we're back. When somebody calls, apparently it just takes it off. Okay, we've got all of our green leaves. Some are, oh, pretty. And then I want to color this door. Kind of a Santorini blue. Actually, this is probably a little darker than the Santorini blue, but it's okay. All right, there we have our background ready to go. We'll stamp our envelope. Same stamp, same ink, just on the edge here. So you've got an envelope that matches, and put it onto a card, and we're pretty much done except for the words. Let's see, what do we want this one to say? I think I can find my adhesive. Things that that crafters are always looking for, their glasses and their adhesive, and whatever else they were just using. All right, we've got that one ready to go. Let's add a sentiment. Maybe we'll do, it's okay not to feel okay. Let me see how this one stamps. Okay, pretty straight. It's okay not to feel okay. And then on the inside, what should we say on the inside? Let's find a sentiment that would, my shoulder is yours. Here for you always. That one sounds like a good thing to say. We'll say that one on the inside. Or you could even do it down here at the bottom. Here for you always. Let's do it a little bit crooked, so I'm just going to turn it a little bit. Close enough. Here for you always. So there is the next one. Let's pull them all back in here, and then we'll show you how to create the box that comes with it. Okay? So this box comes flat in your order. I need to move some of my ink pads out of the way so that we don't drop it in the ink pad. Pardon me for just a minute while I clean up. Oh, hello, Jan. Oh, I didn't see you here. So glad that you're here. Jan and I met through Stampin' Up! Years ago and have become fast friends. In fact, her husband's name is Lonnie, too. Yep, it's kind of fun. All right, now let's put this box together. So when you get it, you'll just fold it on all the score lines that they have right here. This is the base, by the way. I'll turn it this way so you can see. And it has two little slits that we're going to put the base in just a moment. So fold, 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 fold. This one's actually going to go like that. Fold, 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 fold. And that one's going to go like that. So let me pull you out a little bit so you can see hopefully this whole box. So this box will go like this. You want to put this piece over the top of the two. Apparently I missed the fold right there. Over the top of the two tabs. So this side comes in over the side of these two tabs. I'm doing this sideways and it's difficult. And then this one goes down. This one goes down. Now take your longest side last. Put it over the top of the tabs and stick this last piece down inside so that the two tabs fit inside. Now your note cards, if I fold the envelope correctly, will fit right inside here. Wouldn't that make a great gift? There are 20 cards with the box. So you can make 20 cards. Put them right inside that box if you'd like to, or just give 10 away and keep 10 for yourself. Let's make the lid. It's a similar process. Fold along the score lines. This one I scored back because it's going to be just like the base. It's going to go, actually this one's going to go back too. And this other one is going to go like that. So the top and the bottom are very similar. The last edges will be folded back the other direction or up the other direction. So in the last flap will fold up on all sides. The same for the top. This large piece is your last flap, so it folds away from you. Hopefully this is helpful. So when you get your box, you know how to put it together. So the short side first, put that in first. Then the short end first, and then the two short sides. And then over the top of these last flaps comes your lid. Make sure it gets over those two tabs to hold it together. This tab doesn't want to stay down. Hold on, there we go. Then you push that last piece into the two little slits that it had to hold the tabs. And there's your lid. So you can even stamp something for this lid and decorate it. If you wanted it all to be with those scenes, you can make a bigger scene if you'd like to, or layer it, mat it with a different color of cardstock. But these are just simple note cards that fit inside your box. How about that? So this is called the Craft Note Cards and Envelopes with a box. Doesn't say box on it, but that hopefully will help you when you're looking for it at creativejuicebylonnie.com. And I was just checking to see if I could give you that information. Apparently, I don't know what happened here because my banners are all screw wampusy. Let me see if I've got it in a different place so I can get, oh, here we go. Here we go. There's our craft note cards. Technology, when it works, it's great. when those who are running it can work, it works great. So there you go. That's the note cards and envelopes that you will need. So take note of that, and then you'll order here. There you go. All right. Hopefully that helps to give you some ideas of ways to use your Sale-a-Bration things. When you order the note cards, the blending brushes, and a couple of ink pads, you can actually choose either one of these stamp sets free. If you order a little bit of cardstock, maybe the blending brush storage, then you can choose both of these free. You get to choose. There's a lot of things to choose. We've added some new things to our Sale-a-Bration selection. So your choice, but this would be a great beginning stamping project. A couple of ink pads, a couple of cards, and some white cardstock, and some stamps. Maybe if they're beginners, don't forget to add clear blocks, a couple of clear blocks. I think this one that I used, by the way, is clear block I. It's a long, skinny one, and it fits both of the large images from in the country. And then the small block, looking for the number, G, fits most of these sentiments. So that might be helpful to you as well. All right. Well, I'm so glad to be back and so happy that many of you joined me today.